Hello and welcome to the Scatterable channel, and today let me tell you why you shouldn't build a gaming PC right now. This next month is going to be very eventful when it comes to new hardware releases from Intel, AMD, and Nvidia. And honestly, I just need you guys to wait a little bit if you want to build a gaming PC because there's a lot worth waiting for. Intel is going to be releasing some new CPUs, AMD is going to be releasing some new GPUs and CPUs, and Nvidia is eventually going to come out with some new GPUs that'll all target different price ranges. So I think this should affect every single PC gamer who is looking into building a PC right now. You definitely want to stop, and let me tell you the reasons why, which I'll get into right after a word from our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Fezibo, who make affordable yet high quality standing desks like their Alta standing desk. This is one hefty desk with a four-legged design which offers excellent stability and a maximum weight capacity of nearly 400 pounds. Not to mention, I can assure you that the wooden tabletop you get with the Alta is thick and heavy and can support nearly any PC gaming setup you put on it. Although if wood isn't your thing, then you can also get this tabletop in either black or white. The Alta also comes with a simple yet effective controller that'll raise and lower the desk, along with a preset standing and sitting height setting. Along with different accessories and a plentiful warranty, the Alta from Fezibo is a good-looking yet well-made standing desk that should let you throw anything onto it. So if you want to learn more about the Alta as well as Fezibo's New Year's sale offering many competitive discounts, then check the links in the description below, and thanks again to Fezibo for sponsoring this video. So first up, Intel is releasing some new CPUs that are going to target the lower end SKUs of their 14th generation lineup, that being mostly the i3-14100 and the i5-14500. Now, as far as performance goes for these new lower end CPUs from Intel, I don't expect much, as looking at the rumored spec sheets, all they're getting are just a boost in clock speed on base and boost clocks. There's not going to be any increases in core or thread count versus their 13100 and 13400 counterparts. There's not even going to be any changes to L2 or L3 cache, which is really disappointing. So I don't think we're going to see any meaningful performance boosts from, say, an i3-13100 to an i3-14100. But what I think we will see potentially is those lower end SKUs for 13th and 12th generation Intel processors going down even further in price, which is making the LGA 1700 socket right now in 2024 even trickier to recommend, because it is going to be discontinued at the end of the year, but the CPUs for it are probably going to be at their all-time lowest prices, at least on the budget end, very soon. So if you wanted to build a system with a 12th or 13th generation processor that's on the lower end, say below $200, definitely wait a month, because these new lower end SKU 14th generation CPUs could lower those prices even further. And speaking of CPUs, AMD is probably going to unveil some new APUs at CES, and the only one that we have confirmed knowledge of as well as rumored performance for is the Ryzen 5 8600G, which is basically going to be a Ryzen 5 7600 but with integrated Radeon 760 graphics. So that's basically going to be a 6-core GPU with 8 Radeon cores, and its rumored performance is going to be like that of a desktop GTX 1060 from what we've seen so far from leaked benchmarks, which would be absolutely crazy actually. And pricing wise, I don't know, we won't know until next week, but I hope it's below or at $200. That would definitely be worth it. But there's also going to be other APUs unveiled, like the more expensive 8700G with even faster integrated graphics, and the lower end 8500G and 8300G, assuming those APUs will also technically be a thing, because so far all we know so far confirmed is the 8600G. So those lower end APUs could be something maybe looking at. Those could be the new affordable way for getting into the AM5 socket. but whether or not those will be a better CPU, say versus the Ryzen 5 7500F at $175 is definitely up for debate. But what's nice to see is at least those lower end APUs do come with some nicer integrated graphics than what's already available on current Ryzen 7000 CPUs. And pricing on those, especially that 4-core 8300G, if that is a thing, is going to be really interesting to look at, because that could be right in the fireside of a 14100. So maybe AM5 will finally have really affordable CPUs, so we'll wait and see for that. But the big stuff are the new rumored graphics card launches coming out from AMD and Nvidia. So let's start with the rumored RX 7600 XT, which I have good news. For sure, it looks like we're gonna get a 16GB variant of this upcoming graphics card, and its performance should be between a 6750 XT, so maybe a 4060 Ti, and a 7700 XT, which would be, what, around a 3070 Ti? It'd be slower than a 4070 for sure, but I think it'll be faster than a 4060 Ti at a lower price, with more VRAM, unless you want to count the 16GB model of the 4060 Ti. But even then, I feel like the memory itself on the 7600 XT will still be better, because I think its memory bus is going to be 256 bits, because the chip it's going to be using is probably going to be a cut down version of Navi 32, which is already on the 7700 XT and 7800 XT. Which is a good sign, because Navi 33 on the Radeon 7600 is already maxed out. So I'm assuming we're getting a cut down version of the Navi 32 chip for this rumored RX 7600 XT. So its performance should be decent. And like I said, for pricing, it's going to be more expensive than a Radeon 7600, but it's definitely got to be cheaper than an RX 7700 XT, which right now has seen lowest prices of $400 on Newegg. So it might be smack dab in the middle at $350, which could be a really nice sweet spot, and definitely a more appealing option than the 4060 Ti for about $50 more. Once again, we don't know. That's rumored performance and what I think of it. But here's the other big lineup of new upcoming graphics cards, and this is going to really affect the upper end of graphics cards in the market. And that is the rumored RTX 4070 Super, 4070 Ti Super, and 4080 Super. Now, we still don't know a lot about these graphics cards, but from what we can derive on leaks on X or Twitter, it looks like VRAM is going to be mostly the same except for the rumored 4070 Ti Super. That is for sure going to come with 16GB of VRAM, which is very excellent to see from these screenshots here, but also because that's the one thing the 4070 Ti has always needed, because in terms of raw performance, it matches AMD for the dollar, that being the 7900 XT. But the issue is that it just needed more VRAM, because 12GB wasn't enough for the 4070 Ti, but seeing as it's probably gonna get 16GB is a very good sign. But then for the 4070 Super, it looks like it's gonna come with 12GB of VRAM, which is kind of upsetting. I was hoping for more. And for the 4080 Super, once again, 16GB of VRAM, definitely hoping for more. So I'm hoping that the actual performances of these new rumored graphics cards make up for that lack of VRAM, but ultimately we'll see. I think the one to look forward to is the 4070 Ti Super. But another big unanswered question is, what is going to be the pricing for these new Super Series GPUs? Because that's going to affect the current 4070, the current 4070 Ti, and current 4080. So I think at best, all of them will go down in price soon, or at worst, they'll stay at the same price, and these new super cards, which should be faster, will be marked up above all of those existing RTX 4000 GPUs and not affect pricing. But still, it's definitely worth waiting for to see how these super GPUs will perform, and again, how they'll ultimately affect the pricing of current RTX 4000 GPUs in that upper GPU price category. So there's a lot of exciting things to look forward to if you're a PC builder, but again, just wait 1 month. Don't build a PC right now. I know I literally just showed a video telling you the best PC builds for the month of January, but there's a lot to look forward to. Hold up, things are gonna get wild in February and even March, depending on when these ultimately launch. So there you have it for this quick video right before CES, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to give this video a like. That helps it in the algorithm, which is really sweet. And if you enjoy this kind of content, which I'm known for doing then giving a subscription to the channel would be smart. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching, and this is the Scattervolt channel, signing out.